I've been on the game, I don't remember that. But they part of it. I don't.
It's right that way.
Yeah, big fish always.
All right, I call this meeting to order at 5:01 p.m. Chief Justice Bennett, can you lead us in the fight song? All right, roll call.
President Colquitt. Vice President Bell. Treasurer Longo. Chief of Staff Coma. Deputy Chief of Staff Moore. Director Hammond. Director Sand. Assistant Director Bachuk. Director Battle. Assistant Director Parker. Director Traore. Director Campbell. Director Farmer. Assistant Director Johnson. Director Johnstone. Director Edwards. Assistant Director Dixon. Director Etienne. Assistant Director Fletcher. Director Odusanya. Assistant Director Abdul. Director Adewale. Assistant Director Ajayi. Director Brown. Representative Moore. Representative Tang. Representative Linsky. Representative Lewis. Representative Entwistle. Representative Robinson. Designer Akakpo. President Pro Tempore Rhymes. Senator Charles Duru. Senator Liu. Senator Chen. Government Operations Chair Crosby.
Present.
Senator Uma.
Present.
Senator Holland. Senator Bendu. Appropriations Chair White.
Present.
Senator Jackson.
Present.
Senator Williams. Senator Gentry.
Present.
Senator Thatch. Senator Vivian Wilson. Chief Justice Bennett. Deputy Chief Justice Olanian. Associate Justice Sonia.
All right, approval of the minutes. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, seeing none, guest speakers. We have our guest speaker, Dr. Hurt. He's the Vice President of Student Affairs. You can come to the middle. I guess you can use that mic.
All right. Well, first of all, good evening. Thank you, SGA, for privilege to be able to come and share just a couple remarks with you all today. First of all, let me just start by thanking you for your leadership. Thank you for your advocacy. I'm coming up for almost 4 years. February will be 4 years here at TU. It's hard to believe. The time has gone by so fast. But one of the things that has really been exciting during this time is to see really the consistent and constant growth of SGA and the positive impact and partnership that you all have had, here at TU. And so, certainly, thank you, President Colquitt, Vice President Bell, and the entire SGA for your leadership. So again, I'm Vernon Hurt, Vice President of Student Affairs. For those who don't know, what kind of comprises student affairs, I lead a division that is really made up of 4 thematic areas. So I'll kind of walk through. The first is the Dean of Students office, where a lot of our student support services are there. Whether it's our student outreach and support office, our Tune campus, we have student support services at Tune, student accountability, restorative practices, formerly student conduct as a part of that area, our Military Veterans Center as a part of that area, student success programs, which houses SAGE, Man to Man, Her, our First Gen programs are part of the new students office. And I'm sure I'm missing something. There's a lot that's a part of that area that's really student support services. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the things that are exciting additions, growths there. And many of those things you all have helped to impact. The second area is our Career Center. So the Career Center, which is located in this building downstairs, is really designed to support students from the time you enter college all the way through seeking employment after college, or certainly employment, internship opportunities while you're here at TU. So that, again, that office is right downstairs. Third area is Housing and Residence Life. So Housing and Residence Life reports up to me through the Division of Student Affairs, and obviously provides housing and residence life support for our residential campus. About 62, we have about 6,200 students who live on campus. So that area is supporting the residential experience on campus. And then the last area is campus life. So that is student activities, that's the new student and family program, campus recreation, events and conference services as a part of that area. But that's the area that really is driving a lot of our co-curricular programs, whether it's campus-wide programs, supporting organizations like CAB. Many of our leadership programs come out of that area. And so that is what student affairs is. There is a 5th thematic area that I'm really excited about. We're in the process in terms of updates of hiring a new assistant vice president for student health and well-being, which will basically provide leadership for 3 of our departments to be reorganizing within the division. Currently, as a part of the Dean of Students office, the Health Center and the Counseling Center as a part of that office, and in campus life, campus recreation. And so as a part of a reorganization, I'm bringing together the Health Center, the Counseling Center, and campus recreation in one thematic area that's going to be led by this new Assistant Vice President of Student Health and Wellbeing. When I came to TU almost 4 years ago, one of the things that I communicated as a part of my vision is that I wanted Towson University to be a national leader when it comes to integrative student health and well-being. So, how do we invest in having excellent clinical support from a health and well-being standpoint, but also recognizing that living a life of well-being isn't just limited to clinical services, not just limited to the services that's provided in the health center or services that's provided in the counseling center, but campus recreation, thinking about our physical health, our financial well-being. And so some of the work that we're developing within the Career Center. Well-being is very broad, looking at our intellectual well-being, looking at our social well-being. And so how do we kind of provide services, support that look at well-being in a very holistic way? And so this leader is really going to be designed to work across the Division of Student Affairs, to work with faculty, to work with staff across campus, to better embed a culture of well-being throughout the student experience. So really excited about that role. We have attracted a really strong pool of candidates. Anticipate we'll have that person in place starting in January. And so we'll make sure that, once they're here, we'll be able to introduce them, to this group. But, I know that's a shared commitment, around well-being, for students. I'll kind of stay there, and talk a little bit about, the new AVP position. But just mental health, in general, over the last few years, we made some, significant investments, changes, particularly in the counseling center, whether it's, hiring new, clinicians, new psychologists as a part of the counseling center staff, really giving attention to, diversity among that staff. Really proud of, how that staff is diversified, both in identity, but also in, specialty, in terms of meeting, the variety of needs, that our students have, and the variety of identities that our students have. So we'll continue to continue to do that work. About maybe a year or two ago, we moved to a same day appointment model, which has been, I think, a good move. It's been well received by students. Students are aware of so many of the resources. One of the things that we've seen a shift, particularly this year, that I'm really excited about, is that when we look at referrals and how students get connected to resources, the number one source of connection and referral are fellow students. So what that says to me is that students are really embracing the resources around well-being, are being ambassadors around well-being, and really encouraging peers to be kind of committed to their own sense of well-being. So continued work, you'll see continued growth in the mental health space. Parenting students. So you'll hear us talk a lot about first generation students, veteran students, military affiliated students, and a lot of different groups within the community. One of the areas that we've been focusing on recently, over the last 2 years actually, is parenting students. Believe it or not, we have a few hundred students here at TU who are parents. And what are the experiences of those students? What are the types of supports and resources that parenting students need? And so our division has been focused over the last 2 years and really surveying students, talking to parenting students on campus to say what kind of resources would help you be able to make good progress academically. And so we heard things from additional tutoring and academic support to support for childcare on campus or in the community. And so I'm really proud to share that we applied for a C Campus grant earlier this summer, late this summer, and we just learned about 2 weeks ago that we had a successful grant. And so we've been awarded $1.4 million over the next 4 years to support initiatives for our parenting students on campus. And so that's going to allow us to provide some significant resources. And that's about 500 students on our campus. And so when we think about student success, when we think about support for students, we're looking at the full community, but also really paying attention to what are some of the unique needs among specific groups within campus community. So you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. Last update, a couple of things I want to share. Student outreach and support. That office was developed last year, partly inspired by this group. There was a senator who was serving at the time who was just sharing how we really don't have that department that's really focused on that outreach and making sure that students are aware of all the different resources that are available. So over the last couple of years, we were able to develop that office, and so many things have come out of that. The expansion of Food Share to the Basic Needs Hub is a part of that area. And again, your partnership, your advocacy has been really important to that work. You'll see continued growth there in terms of supports and resources beyond Food Share, but also support now for students who may qualify for SNAP, and ensuring they have support and knowing how to access those resources. So that's going to be an area where you see some significant growth. And the last thing that, again, SGA inspired, about 2 years ago, it was a priority of SGA to provide free menstrual products on campus. We put together a work group that came folks from student affairs, facilities, CSD, health center, and SGA came together about 2 years ago to start kind of planning towards this. And so hopefully, this fall, we've been able to launch that. And so I raised that as an example of really an initiative that was birthed through SGA. We've been able to partner to really bring that to fruition. So those are some of the updates and introduction that I want to be able to share. The last thing is I shared with SGA leadership, President Colquitt, Vice President Bell, and Director Brown a couple of weeks ago, our Student Affairs Impact Report. So much that's happening in student affairs, so many ways that we're impacting in positive ways student success. And so I would encourage you all to take a look at it. It's actually on the Student Affairs website. Feel free to go to the website. It's right on the front page. And just to kind of see some of the things that's happening across the division and some of the successes and some of the things you may not know in terms of how we're supporting student success. So I will stop there and certainly pause for a couple of questions. Actually, before I pause, I'll go to questions. One of the things I wanted to share, dining. So we had a significant, dining transition, new vendor that we welcomed this semester. I think we all know we had a really rocky start to the semester. Definitely had a rocky start. That has been an area of priority focus for me and my team to really get that, that program elevated. I hope you all have seen over the last few weeks, they've made some significant improvements, significant steps forward. We haven't arrived there. We haven't gotten to the space of excellence that we really want to have. So know that that's an area of priority for us that we're going to continue to work on. The Aramark team, I'll say, has been really working to be responsive. They've made some adjustments to some of the dining plans, adjustments and expansion to Tiger Meals. You'll hear a little bit more in the next couple of weeks of some additional kind of bonus opportunities around dining points, things like that, that's going to be offered out. We're currently every week, we're doing random survey of students on campus with meal plans. It's allowing us to be able to kind of track what the needs are, track what the issues are, also track the positive shifts. And so we've been able to see some important movement, but we're going to continue to make sure that that's an area of priority. So I wanted to be able to talk a little bit about that and some of the work that's happening with the Aramark team. And so I would encourage you all to continue to share feedback through those venues, through SGA leadership, directly to me. That feedback is important. That feedback is helping shape, changes to, dining, but also to help support some positives. For example, one of the things that we heard in previous years is just lacking variety and options on campus. That's been a really important improvement we've seen in terms of the variety. Our local restaurant row is a new initiative that came actually through some of the feedback that students provided in previous years. And so they're going to continue to work to make sure that that experience in that program is at the level that our students deserve and what we want. So I'll pause there. Happy to respond to any questions, any feedback that you all have, if time permits.
Any questions for Dr. Hurd? Director Edwards. Right in front of you.
So I had a question regarding diversity, because you said in the counseling center, you're trying to promote that. However, I wanted to ask if there's any initiatives or programs in place to do that, because currently the staff clinicians, out of the 15 available to us, 10 identify as white, 3 are Black, one is Hispanic and one is Latin American.
So part of our focus is to continue one, when we talk about diversity, like I said, identity of staff. And so believe it or not, it's more diverse than when I arrived. And so we're continuing to, make sure that we are recruiting, making sure the opportunities are in the right spaces. But the diversity isn't just identity, it's also in the needs. And so even among the staff who may not be people of color, they have specialties that, let's say for queer identified students or LGBTQIA plus identified students, that's a specialty that supports our focus on DEI as well. We have specialty around international students. We have clinicians that specialize in working with student athletes. So when I talked about the diversity, it's both diversifying the identity of clinicians, but also making sure that we're diversifying the specialty in terms of the experience of supporting the variety of different populations that are on campus.
Robinson.
Hello, sir. I hope everything is going well. I did have one question. So you provided a lot of examples about how you supported us as an organization. How can we support student affairs?
So I appreciate that. So, a couple things, really helping to elevate awareness of the different resources that are available. That's why I encourage you all to check out the impact report. It's a long document, but it's long for a reason, because we do a lot. We do a lot to support students. And so the more students are aware of those resources, the more they're able to engage with it. So that's one. That's really important. Two is feedback. So I meet with the SGA president, vice president, on a monthly basis. They bring the feedback. They bring, areas of concern, issues. They bring, positive feedback. When students are, saying, hey, this is all that helps us. It helps us know how we need to, reshape things. What are the types of resources that are meaningful to students? So that piece is important. And the last thing I'll say is just relationship. One of the, I'll be honest, one of the positive shifts that I've seen over the years at SGA is when I first arrived, there was just a lot of legislation, but there was no communication at all. And so, there would be a bill that's passed, but nobody who had influence, nobody in leadership may or may not have known. One of the things that's been great about the evolution and shift of SGA is that when an issue comes, I'll get an email, I'll get a call, and we're able to sit down and say, hey, this issue has arisen. And I'm able to say, hey, it's actually something that we're working on. Or, hey, this is something that, really hasn't come to our radar. We haven't thought about it. Let's sit down and figure out how we can, partner together to move things forward. And so I think because of that, you see, more collaboration between the SGA and university leadership and actually moving the needle on things and actually get things done. And so continuing to invest in building those relationships and communication helps us to be able to work together to continue to move things forward. Thank you all again so much for having me, and continue, just great work, great advocacy. Your leadership matters to South University. So thank you.
Thank you. Any further participation on certain concerns? Hearing none, seeing none. Advisors' remarks.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. I missed y'all last week. It's really good to see you. I know, right? Homecoming was last week, and wanted to say big congratulations for what I think was a fantastic week, and SGA played a part in that, so give yourselves a round of applause. Also want to do a major shout out to Director Edwards, who is our new So congratulations to you in representing the student body in a different kind of way. It was a new way that we approached royalty, and I think it turned out really well. I have two core announcements to how we engage, well, for what we need to do. The first one, I sent an email last week about the Black Student Leadership Conference. And I'm strongly encouraging you all to engage in that process. That is a resource, an event, a program that has been asked for by students in the past. We want to make sure that this is an event that can be offered to students in the future. The way to make that happen is to show up now. So if you are available, I encourage you on October 20th to attend, but before you attend, you should register. So make sure you sign up to participate in the Black Student Leadership Conference. And the next one, I need every paid member to pay close attention. Paid members, eyes up. Everybody listening can see me. All paid members. Okay. Yeah, y'all can all look at me, but specifically paid members. Okay. So payroll is a very important part of the process and how y'all engage in SGA. Make sure you are compensated for the work that you do. But for us to be successful in that process, particularly for me to be successful in approving your time, I am asking / reminding you that you enter your time appropriately in your timesheet. This means that if you work 10 hours per week, that on one timesheet, which has 2 weeks, there should never be more than 20 hours listed. There should never be more than 20 hours listed. You all can work up to 10 hours per week. If I see that more than 10 hours are listed, which requires me to make an adjustment, your timesheet unfortunately will have to be denied, and then you'd have to resubmit with the appropriate time frame. This also means when you're coming into the office that you should prioritize dipping your punch card when you come in at the appropriate time, dipping your card again when it's time to leave, because I will also match your time card to what you submit in the system. Now, if you're off by a few minutes, that's fine. What gets submitted in the system is the record with the university, but the timesheets is the record to the internal office, okay? I want to support you all getting paid on time. To do that, I need you to make sure you're following the parameters of your approved time, which means do not enter more than the time that you're supposed to work in a pay period. Does everyone understand who's on payroll? Yeah, does everyone understand who's on payroll?
Yeah.
This requires a verbal confirmation. Does everyone understand who is on payroll?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, I yield.
Appropriations Committee.
No report at this time.
No report. Okay, Government Operations Committee.
Hey, everybody. So GovOps didn't meet, but we kind of sort of met last Monday to talk about providing legislation that wasn't required, but we will meet next Monday to discuss the bills that we have in first reading. Just to talk about something fun that happened today. Me, Director Brown, and Pro Tempore Rhines met with the Business and Economics Dean, Dr. Mishra, hopefully I didn't butcher his name, to discuss a new bill that we're going to be proposing and bring to the floor soon about students getting mental health days as an excused absence. We've been working on that. That's a secret little bill, so that should be coming soon. We meet tomorrow with the Dean of College and Health Professions, so more to come from that. Switching hats, I know President Coker will probably talk about it, but for USM, the student regent search is beginning. So this is a 2-year term. We're going to talk about it because I won't go into detail. Okay, so student regent, just to be brief, I had a screenshot of what they outlined it as. It's pretty important. So let me read it out. I won't read the whole thing, but the ultimate authority and governance of the system is vested in the Board of Regents. The Board of Regents is comprised of 21 members. The student regent appointment is made by the governor with the advice and consent of the State Senate Won't read all of that because it's a lot more, but basically saying that you will be appointed by the state governor and the state senate. Every single university sends forward, I think, 1 or 2 people. So it's really important. If you're interested, please reach out. It's a pretty big deal. You get to do it. It's like SGA, but for the entire state. That's the simple way to put it. So if you're interested, reach out to me or President Colquitt, and we'll get that situated. With that, any questions? With that, I yield.
How y'all doing today? So everybody please just listen up. This might get a little confusing. So like I said in my message earlier in the Senator group meeting at the start of this week, we canceled rules on Friday because campus is closed with fall break. So what we were gonna do was just unofficially meet throughout the week. But shout out to Appropriations Chair White for this, and also Advisor Harris for working it out for me. What we decided to do was cancel our Senate leadership meeting tomorrow, and so we will have rules tomorrow at 3:30. So please show up. You know, it'll be a really good turnout, not just for the senators that's in it, but for everybody. You know, directors, assistant directors, everybody. Please show up. We're like getting to the real work now on rules, and it's impactful stuff. So I'd appreciate it if you guys came and participated in that process. And also, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the senators. Y'all been getting your initiatives in and taking the step to work and have those conversations, have those meetings, preparing to write that legislation. So I appreciate y'all for that. But any questions? Assistant Director Dobbs?
At 3:30, right?
Yes, tomorrow at 3:30. Any more questions? And with that, I yield. Thank you.
President Colquitt.
Good evening and happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody. How y'all feeling? All right, I have a few updates for you guys. So as I said, happy Tiger Tuesday. Hope y'all are feeling good. As midterms are among us, make sure you take time to take care of yourself and your mental health. Today is also World Mental Health Day. So yeah, make sure you're tracking those things. So last week I met with facilities management and the sustainability team with Vice President Bell to discuss our safety walk for the semester, a potential student committee, and also some green projects that we can potentially sponsor. I'll be looping in the Department of Civic Engagement and Sustainability this week. I don't know where, oh, okay, right there. This week, this meeting was scheduled actually in July, so before you guys even got here, but we'll definitely be making that connection with you all. I also had a meeting with the University Residence Government and National Residence Hall honorary presidents. Again, we've met for the past 3 weeks to discuss student concerns regarding packages. I know you all are tracking the situation with the switch to West Village. And so we met with Director Pam Mooney, who is the Director of Parking and Transportation. And so as a result of that meeting, we're continuing our research on the issue, working on a survey to send out to students, and also a resolution to address student concerns with the package updates. So I just want to shout out Senators Bindu and Charles Duru, Representative Linsky, Attorney General Jallo for really doing the work with us to help get these efforts off the ground. We do have a follow-up meeting next week to determine our exact next steps. But like I said, a survey and a resolution are in the works. I also had a meeting with the Graduate Student Association president, and the GSA is our counterpart in shared governance. They've always been a great collaborative leader on campus. One important update from that body is that they have voted recently. I have to check to see what the vote was. I'm sure it passed though, to change their governance structure to have an elected president in hopes to increase their role in shared governance in the university. Right now, the main bodies are the Student Government Association, the Staff Senate, which is the staff counterpart, and then our Academic Senate, which includes faculty. So hopefully that vote went through and we can get some more inclusion and representation for graduate students. I also met with Alejandra Balcazar from the Center for Student Diversity. We discussed room for SJ and CSD to better support international students. And I was happy to loop in our Department of Diversity and Inclusion, who will be doing some follow-up work to better support those students. You heard from Senator Crosby earlier about Regent applications. So we actually have to send those names to Dr. Hurt. So if you're interested, please let me know as soon as possible. Director Harris and I, Director of Student Activities, Advisor Harris and I will help you guys with the application, kind of grooming you. We've done it the past 2 years. We haven't been able to get one, but we're going to keep submitting names, y'all. So if you're interested, I definitely encourage you to apply. It's a great opportunity. feel free to stop by my office if you want to kind of talk that through, what that looks like. And last but for member of the week, I just have a few reminders about email etiquette. Just a reminder that all SGA members are required to respond to emails within 48 hours, business hours. We understand that things happen, we are all students, but it's important to reply to those emails, particularly directors. I've reached out to a few of you and have not gotten a response, so yeah, just make sure you're replying to my emails. If another department emails you and I'm copied and you take me off the copy line, let me know, because I'm gonna follow up with you or them and say, hey, did you get a reply? So instead of making extra steps, just like reply to my email or let me know that you're replying to folks, so I don't have to hunt you down and make you reply to emails. And then lastly, if you're meeting with deans, vice presidents, assistant vice presidents, and other administration, I would like to know, there's no requirement that you have to tell me, but a lot of the times I can answer these questions for you or direct you to the right person. So just a note, as a professional courtesy, do please have a conversation with me or at least CC me so I know what's going out on behalf of SGA. And so we look, more uniform, like we know what's going on as an organization. And then that's all I have for you guys before our member of the week. Can I get a drum roll, please? Okay, so this person has really done a great job since joining SGA. This is their first semester. Really got started right away with tabling and welcome week events. And they've also done a great job, as I mentioned earlier, with getting these student concerns regarding packaging. And I'm happy to see their bill come forward soon on the matter. So congratulations and thanks for all your hard work to Senator Bendu. Will you send your picture to comms or PR, anybody on the PR team? That's Director Donovan. You guys have a question?
Yeah.
So the stuff around the package is like the post office, right?
Yes.
So I'm guessing it's regarding like all the packages being taken to the union rather than to the individual dorms for like apartment styles. Is that?
Yeah, for West Village.
Do you know why that was changed by any chance?
Unfortunately, no. Senator Cynthia Wilson.
I don't know why either, but I was just wondering if there was any way that 10 West could be included in that as well, because the packages they get taken away from whoever there.
Okay, got it. And to add a little more context, what the reason that was stated was for efficiency, and to maximize the workload, and capacity of post office staff. Any other questions? I saw another visual. No other questions? Okay, thank you guys, and with that, I yield.
Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. The budgeting process for spring 24 started last Monday, October 2nd. I sent a reminder this week also, so that is directed towards you. Make sure you're looking at it and following the rules and guidelines. I also sent out an email to VP Bell and his associates. So budget committee, if you could sign up for times for FAC meetings, budget hearings, and budget deliberations. The budget deliberations will be on a Friday, November 17th. That's the day. It will be 5 hours. There will be food, refreshments. So it will be sometime between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. on that Friday. So if you could set that day aside and we just get it out the way, we get it out the way. And also, I'm not sure if NSD saw my email, but you have $5,000 to spend this semester, so make sure you're using it. Any questions? With that,
Tiger Tuesday. I hope you all had a great and safe homecoming weekend. Just I'm gonna get back to work. Firstly, I'd like to extend a belated happy 21st birthday to our president pro tempore, Eddie. Okay, so I just wanted to inform you all that I transitioned the weekly report and absence request forms to FormStack. It's still the same exact form. It's just, on a different platform.
I'm so happy about that.
Thanks. Yeah, so weekly reports are still due every Friday at 5 p.m. sharp. Submissions after this deadline will regretfully be denied. Again, just to reiterate, if you need to submit an absence request, ensure it reaches me at least 2 business days before the planned absence. Any requests later will be denied and counted against you. Unfortunately, our office has seen the return of our furry little friend, Stuart Gregory Allen, the mouse. So let's just, take responsibility, keep a clean and tidy office. It's our responsibility for the accountability of the So yeah, just get up after yourselves. And then just a reminder, this Friday we have fall break, so the office will be closed. Lastly, if you have any questions or concerns related to administrative matters, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or any members on the executive board. We're here to provide you with clear, direct, and accurate answers. Any questions? Oh, Dave? Mike?
Great, just a question about the fall break and everything. Are we supposed to submit our weekly report on Thursday then,
You can submit it Thursday or Friday. It's up to you.
Cool.
If you submit on Friday, I'm not gonna be like mad or anything. Okay. Any other questions? No? All right, with that, I yield. Oh, Jamie?
Does community service go count as on-time? It does. That's bad.
Can you repeat the question in the mic, please?
Does community service go count towards sorry?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh.
You're right.
I guess not. Sorry.
All right, Chief of Staff Okoma.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, guys. To begin, we have a resignation in the cabinet, which was the ADO Student Services and Affairs. We also got a new hire in the cabinet, which is representative. This week, I've been working on the breast cancer walk in partnership with the Hopewell Cancer Support Group, and you guys will hear more information about that this week. The director of marketing position is open and has been posted on the Handshake. And posts and quarter zips are ready to be picked up. So if you haven't picked it up, you can see it after GA in the office or anytime during this week in the office. So yeah, with that, I yield.
Public Academic Affairs. They have one state.
Hi, guys. So a couple things. I have my next 2 meetings with deans. Those deans are the Dean of Fine Arts and the Dean of Business and Economics, and those are in November. So if you are in those colleges, please let me know if you have any student concerns. I also had a meeting with the interim provost, and that went very well. Just continue to send me concerns if you have any. So I can let the respective people know. With that, I yield.
Public Handles Activities, Department of Civic Engagement.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So I have a couple of announcements. This Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m., we're having an Eco Fair at Paul's, Pavilion. Rain location is Union Ballroom D. SGA will be tabling, so stop by to learn how you can be more eco-friendly with your Halloween candy wrappers as well as your Halloween costume. There will also be free donuts with participation. We also have another event occurring next week. In response to the conflict in Israel and Palestine, the Department of Civic Engagement and Social Responsibility is having a TU committee conversation Monday, October 16th from 4 to 6 p.m. The event is also in collaboration with the Office of Inclusion and Institutional Equity. We would also like to add that there will be trade facilitators as well as those who are well versed in the topic. For support, TU Health and Counseling Center will be a resource as well, and their info will be included in our community conversation. With that, I yield.
Recommendations.
Good afternoon. Me and Eddie Parker will be attending Omni CMS training, which is essentially training to have the permissions to be able to work on the new website under the Towson domain. That's happening late October. So once we're done the first training, I'll let you all know. We have an email being sent out on behalf of SGA to the student body, basically just introducing ourselves and letting them know of different resources available to them. We've sent it to Towson and they're currently in the testing phase, so more info to come on that, but that's coming in the next few weeks. And we have a new engagement that we're going to start incorporating on Mondays. It's called Club Monday. And Senator Gentry helped me out with this idea. Essentially, it's going to be, we spotlight a club on our page and basically tell the students come out to this club on this day. And if they come, at the end of it, they tell the club that, hey, SGA sent us, they get a raffle ticket. And so at the end of the month with the raffle, everybody that got a ticket, they get a prize, or whoever wins the raffle, they get a prize. So that's just to help connect more with different organizations and clubs, give them more attention and just help benefit everyone all around. And yes, any questions? I yield.
Community outreach.
Hey, everyone. Hi, everyone. Director Priori and I have been, we had a few volunteer opportunities. So this past Friday, we went to the Langston Hughes Business and Resource Center to volunteer at their food pantry. We also will have a volunteering event this upcoming Saturday at Meals on Wheels. The next event we'll also have will be at the Langston Hughes Business and Resource Center again on October 20th. The deadline to sign up for that is October 16th. If you've done any community service thus far, you need to enter those hours on involved at TU. If you have any trouble or need help with that, just contact Director Traore. And yesterday, Director Farmer and Director Traore had a meeting with the Office of Inclusion and Institutional Equity and Center for Student Diversity, and we talked about ways to support Native American and Indigenous students at TU. But I'll let Director Farmer talk more on that. And with any questions?
Senator 15 was.
Who approves your membership? Because I can't submit hours until the membership thing is approved on the involved at TU.
If someone from the board,
Okay.
Any other questions?
We'll do all the requests and we'll approve for anyone that is in SGA. If you're not SGA, of course, you won't be approved. Thank you.
Any other questions? Eric.
So I just wanted to clarify some things on the community outreach in regards to it not being office hours. So like the big event, that's not our office hours.
It's community service hours. Every SGA member is required to have 5 community service hours per semester. So it's not office hours.
What if you reach the 5 community service hours, would it then be office hours?
No, you're always welcome to do more service hours.
Okay, thank you. Office hours is for your job, service hours is for your heart.
Any other questions? And with that,
Only the version included.
Hi, everyone. Just to pick up where AD Campbell left off, so we all met with Mr. Brian Jara as well as a representative, Dr. Roper Need from the CSD. We talked about how we can support Native American students. So to be more specific about that, there was once a Native American student organization here, possible revival. We are currently working on that. And with the logistics, we would like to have an event where we go to a powwow that is going to happen at I believe at the end of the month. But we will talk about how we were planning to have a meeting with President Colquitt as well as our liaisons to discuss more of that. So stay tuned. And then we also have a date for what I mentioned at the beginning of the school year. The student org luncheon is now being turned into a dinner. We will have that on November 10th at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the West Village Commons Ballroom. There will be island cuisine. Everyone loves island cuisine, so please attend. We also have the event with Lasso, the October event that is happening this coming Saturday from 2 to 4. It is also a collaboration with the Lambdas. And then I will also have another meeting with President Colquitt to discuss the Asian Fusion event that is coming with the CSD this coming December. And yeah, any questions?
I figured it out.
Oh, any questions? With that, I yield.
Good evening, everyone. So we've been pretty busy this past week. Me and Assistant Director Dixon met with the Health Center, the Sexual Health Awareness Group, to confirm a date for cuffing season boot camp, which I mentioned a little bit earlier this month. That will be Wednesday, October 25th from 5:30 to 7. Also met with Student Outreach Support, which is an advocacy for students group here on campus, as Dr. Hurt mentioned a little bit, just to hear about their resources that they have available to students and gain support for the mental health bill that myself, Director Brown, Government Operations Chair Crosby, and President Pro Tem Rhines are currently working on. And as Government Operations Chair Crosby mentioned, we are meeting with the College of Health Professions tomorrow to get support for the mental health bill. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Legislative affairs.
Good afternoon. There was actually kind of a lot that we did. So starting off, we have the Library Advisory Committee. There was a lot of information that was shared in this committee. It was primarily concerning data, like research and stuff, and the system that we used and a possible transfer to a new system. If you want some more in-depth notes, please let me know. It will impact those of you who like to do research or have classes who do a lot of research. So just let me know. On top of that, we are working on sending out a survey about past Tiger Pride days. So if you did attend Tiger Pride Day last year or the year beforehand, please let me know. I'll write your email down and we'll send out that survey to you. Just fill it out honestly, and your feedback is greatly appreciated, and will make this Tiger Pride Day so much better. We met with Katie Maloney, who is the Government Operations Chair for the university, to discuss like current government relations with the State House and the State Senate and how this Tiger Pride Day could go, ways that we can improve it, ways that it kind of flops in the past, and some new ideas. So if you'd like to see the notes for that, that is totally okay. I can get those to you. I also met with Director Harris to discuss the notion of inviting legislators to Towson University to discuss a certain topic or a certain social issue. This is definitely something that we do want to pursue this semester or maybe next semester if the time works out. So please let me know if there's a specific topic or a specific legislator that you would like to invite to Towson's campus, and we can work together on that. Last but not least, we are working on setting up monthly meetings to plan Tiger Pride Day. So it's getting up to the time. Soon we're gonna need probably a lot of help with planning things or ordering things. So if you have, free time in the coming month, let me know. We can set something up. Any questions? Okay.
I know I mentioned it when we spoke earlier this week, but I think you should reach out to Advisor Harris. Tiger Project registration is always on involved, so we should be able to pull those contacts of whoever registered last year. and
We
previous
have a
years.
list of everyone who signed up. It would just be easier if like people came to me and were like, yeah, I'd like to survey instead of just reaching out to everyone,
That's interesting.
For-
I would recommend
yeah,
talking with Advisor Harris, but
Okay,
it's just my recommendation.
thank you. Appreciate the recommendation. I yield.
The special projects.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. Not much to say, but I wanted to mention that like having your events approved on time is important and everybody's responsibility. Sophie is very busy and like, emails be flooding, so let's make sure we're letting either me, Sophie, or Dominique know that like you put in a request and it's been like, oh, a week since you put your request in, just reminding us will be very helpful. With that,
Representative Linsky.
Point of personal privilege, I don't need a mic.
Department of Marketing. Department of Student Services and Affairs.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. As Chief of Staff McCollum mentioned, I did have a resignation. I know we're having assistant directors, so that sucks. So in the past 2 weeks, because we didn't have Jay last week, I had a meeting with TUPD to formulate the route for the breast cancer walk. So we were able to do that. So it's coming up really soon. I'm really excited. You should make sure that all your orgs sign up to be a part of the breast cancer walk. Also, the midterm event has been postponed. Some more details to come on that as they come. And as Government Operations Chair Crosby has said already, well, everybody that's part of the meeting has already said it, but we met with the Dean of Business and Econ this morning. Very nice for our bill that is soon to come. I'm very excited. We've been putting a lot of work into this, so I cannot wait to share it with you. Any questions? That are been due?
Just when does the walk start, the breast cancer walk?
It's October 21st at 10 a.m. And with that, I yield.
Department of Student Organization.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. Right now, we are working on making more events for student orgs to participate in. We have reached out to a couple of people that are willing to teach a Canva 101 workshop and out to social media for student org workshop as well. While we're waiting for them to get approved, we're also working on another event that we're tackling, PJ Olympics. These are the few events that we're working on for student orgs to accumulate points for next semester. Lastly, did anyone here not get Director Adebole's weekly newsletter? If so, you could email me. I'm pretty sure y'all could get my email on the roster, right? Or do I have to tell y'all my email? Huh? Oh yeah, the roster. Then, okay, and any questions? With that, I yield.
Right. New Student Development.
Hello, everyone. So the Department of MSD has been working on first, we have a transfer council. So our first meeting is today in CLA, room 1201, right after VA. And
We also have a freshman council, so our first meeting will be on Thursday in CLA room 3110 at 7 p.m. after pre-meeting. And then National Transfer Week is October 16th through the 20th. So we will be collabing with the NSFP office, and their first event is a trivia tabling, and we will be partnering with them. And that's Monday, October 16th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Union. And we are also collabing with them for a transfer fest on October 20th. Any questions?
You guys have both the Instagrams, right, for freshman transfer?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if I've seen any posts, but if not, start having either the council members or you guys just throw stuff like that too.
Anything else? Okay, with that, I yield.
University Innovation Representative, Maryland Higher Education Council Representative, Willow St. Brendan's Representative.
Hey, hello, everyone. Life is good. God is great. I'm gonna go on to my report. First things first. And what is first things first? First things first. ROTC, we just recently had competed in the Army 10-miler. It was 9 of us went out. It's a huge annual thing, a big community service event. I think there's over I want to say 2,000 people that come out. That includes disabled people and just people who support the Army. So I had a pleasure of doing that as well. It was a great experience. It is open to everybody. It is, so if you're interested in learning about it, come talk to me afterwards. It will be next year around the same time. The Tiger Veterans Group, we recently had the loss of our president. So we still have a full executive board, but we're still trying to figure out who's going to take the lead of conducting events. Coming back to you guys, I know I sent it to the group chat, but Fitness Fridays is open to everybody. So it's Friday at 10:30. If you want to come, hang out with us, work out a little bit. Last week was actually pretty cool. I think that's it. I yield. Any questions? Out to the people. Yeah.
Athletic Affairs Representative, Disability Representative, International Students Representative, Greek Life Representative.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tiger Tuesday.
I'm bad, but.
Hope y'all are doing good. Just a couple things from me. Last week was homecoming week. The event that we hosted as Fraternity and Sorority Life was Dance to Madness. It was a success. A huge thanks to all the chapter presidents, representatives, and all representatives as well. And a huge shout out to the director of Fraternity and Sorority Life, Ruth Patel, for putting that event on and his staff. So yeah. Another thing is, we all know what happened in Morgan State last week. So one of the things that the organization that I'm a part of, we went over to Morgan State to, President Pi Mu Alpha went over to Morgan State to stand in a prayer, but also do a singing with the Brothers of Pi Mu Alpha over at Morgan State, just to offer support because of the cancellation of their activities. So that was another thing that happened in the Greek life community, but also keeping them in our prayers as well. On 10/28, October 28th is the FSL game versus University of Delaware. See a lot of organizations regarding fraternity and sorority life will be at that game. So being able to, for us, to being able to go out and support them to get that recognition that day as well. Again, homecoming is a success. Zeta Tau Alpha is currently going through their pink week right now. If you don't know what that is, their philanthropy is for breast cancer awareness and education. So they're capping off their event this week with a Pink Up the Pace 5K happening at Freedom Square at 10 a.m. this Sunday. So if you would like to join, if you would like to go out and support them, they have more information on their Instagram. Couple of last things for me, as Advisor Harris, congratulated Latavia for being homecoming queen. A huge shout out to, MGC President and Lambda Theta Phi President Juan Cortez for winning homecoming king. He was really excited and really ecstatic that he won that. So a huge, shout out to him. Lastly, for me is we all know what's happening in Israel as well. A lot of our attorneys and sororities have began to offer support. Let's send our thoughts and prayers over to Israel as they go through it. And are there any questions? You.
First generation low income representative.
Hello guys, so I have a pretty short report this week. I've just been working on getting FAFSA week prepared to get that rolling. It's in about 3 weeks, so I'm just trying to plan all the events. I'm having a meeting with President Colquitt tomorrow to go over some of the events and make sure that they're all ready to go. And then also going over our proposal for the First Gen Scholarship one more time before it gets sent to financial aid for approval. And yeah, that's all I have to report this week. Any questions? But that
University Residence Government Representative.
Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Happy Tiger Tuesday. So I appreciate it. So, just a couple of updates between SGA and URG and also just within URG. So first of all, SGA, NRHH National Residence Hall Honorary and URG are working together, as President Colquitt mentioned, on the packaging issues. So I initially reached out to Office of Civic Engagement to see if they would like to partner on it, but now that we're joining forces with, I think there were kind of two separate initiatives going on there. So I think that it's mostly a SGA, NRHH, URG thing, but Civic Engagement wants to show their support as well because it's kind of a student rights, but yeah, it's an engagement issue because students weren't consulted in the changes, and so we're trying to make sure that their needs are heard. I will be working on the survey, and I will be giving that to our president Fletch by Monday morning so she can send that out. So I'll be working on that this week among a couple other things. So another thing is we had our first General Assembly this past Tuesday, and it was very successful. Building councils got to meet and get to know each other. And our next GA is October 17th. If you guys would like to come, I will be technically I'll be the guest speaker. I'll be doing a presentation on advocacy, specifically how to incorporate advocacy into your programs, marketing, stuff like that. So how to incorporate advocacy into what we're doing. We also have the CACUR conference coming up. So that's the Central Atlantic affiliate of college university residence halls. So the leadership conference is coming up in November. So we have already picked our building council representatives for that. And we have our team from NRHH and URG going. So it'll be a very exciting leadership opportunity for them. One more thing I had. Oh yeah, NRHH and URG are also partnering for a food share and Tiger Threads, which is all underneath the Basic Needs Hub now. We are trying to do a drive for food drive, toiletries, and clothing. So we'll be splitting it up between House and Town, the towers, apartments, and houses. And so we'll be having them each bring different things, and we plan to host that in late November. So that is all. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
Okay, sure, right.
What time on the 17th?
17th, 7 p.m.
Thank you.
So it's right after this one. So yeah. Any other questions? That I yield.
Mike, stand right in the middle, please. Thank you. All right. Happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody. Hope everybody's had a wonderful week so far. I wish you all the best of your week. So first, we finally voted, we finally purchased a new voting system for our senators. And so myself, Senate leadership, and and the Department of Student, Department of Special Projects will be doing our trainings on that so we could become masters of this system before we give it off to everybody else because we'll eventually know what we're doing. And it'll take me some time because I'm not the best with technology. Secondly, parliamentary training, we will be having that this Thursday at 3 minutes. So all senators, please do be in attendance. I know that you'll be available because it is pre-meeting time. So it'll be in the SGA office and it'll be hosted by Matt Leno. So that we have that this Thursday. Last week, President Hogan and I met with President Perot in regards to student concerns and we gave updates about SGA. She will be also in attendance for the breast cancer walk on the 21st. So she'll be there as well. The SGA Executive Board has established communication to offer support to Morgan State's SGA in regards to what happened on their campus the other week. So, you know, our prayers are with them in this time. So I don't know. And then lastly, speakers at SGA. I told you all a few weeks ago that I was trying to establish speakers to come out to SGA weekly. And so if you want to hear from anybody, do please let me know. I have Nick Ging, and he's the associate vice president of facilities management. He'll be coming out on November 7th. So I'm not good with dates. I have Director Mooney to come out as well. She's coming out on the 31st. And then we have President Ginsburg coming out on December 5th. So just make sure that we continue to have somebody every week is important. So they can hear, we can hear what they do, and then they can ask questions. And then we can ask questions too. So yeah, so do please get with me if you want to see anybody coming out, SGA, GAs. And I said, with that, are there any opinions of the court? Mike, please.
Yes, there are opinions of the court. So first, the judicial branch does have a resignation from Associate Justice Scott. She will be missed. And secondly, last week we had an appeal with Towson University's Model Inc. And the judicial board has decided to deny their appeal. With that, I yield.
All right, I'm gonna move to the quorum call real quick. So when I say your name, senators, please just say here or present. Government Operations Chair Crosby.
Present.
Appropriations Chair White.
Present.
Senator Thatch. Senator Dura.
Present.
Senator Gentry.
Present.
Senator Lu.
Present.
Senator Chen. Senator Uma. Senator Holler. Senator Bendu.
Present.
Senator Jackson.
Present.
Senator Weems. Senator 15 Wilson.
Present.
All right, we're good. Thank you. You want me to count?
What's the count?
It's a total of 10 here and we're missing 3. So. Are there any motions on the floor? Government Operations Chair Crosby.
Motion to review resolution number 7.
All right, is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator Dura. And with that, we can now move into a vote. And with that, we can now move to a vote on the review of resolution number 7. All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstaining? With that, the motion is passed, and we can now move into the review phase of resolution number 7. Seeing that this is a confirmation bill, I ask that both Forche So and Aduaga Agwamizi both come to the front and just tell us a little bit about why you want to be in SGA. Thank you. Mike.
Oh, it's not on. I heard about this when I was putting it in.
Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
As you all heard, my name is Forche. I'm excited to be here, actually. I just transferred to Towson University. The reason I decided to join SGA is actually very simple, but I think it's profound. I believe in empowering students to gain the academic experience. And to also have the best experience they can have on campus. So I'm glad I could be part of this group to advocate that campus community, which I wish to have as an incoming transfer student. But that's basically why I decided to join. Thank you.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Hi. My name is Aduba Abumezie. I am a student at Towson University. I'm a psychology major and I have a strong passion for law and legal system, which is where I plan on going after I graduate. But I feel like I can bring a very unique perspective to SGA because of the involvement on campus that I partake in. I am in a lot of clubs such as Models of Distinction and also the ADC committee for the explosion. So I can bring the perspectives of the students that partake in those clubs and kind of bring it to SGA and to honestly just make it better.
Does anyone have any questions for either of them? All right, seeing none, I just ask that you both just step up brief. Oh, I'm sorry. Appropriate to share what?
I just want to know if you have any slight, detailed initiatives that you both want to work on or focus on.
So I heard all of you guys actually talking about it. The main thing is to get students to know about the opportunities that you guys are actually putting out there for everyone. So when you come in as a new student and decide that you really don't know what's going on, unless you try to get involved. So when I got on the call for interview to this position, the main idea which I actually had in mind was if I was able to join, I'd probably be able to show up for some of the club meetings and let them know exactly what we do as SGA, because I have friends and other people who actually don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's the main thing I have in mind. You know what I mean?
Me, I would say as a new student, I didn't know a lot of the resources that Towson kind of provides for students. So knowing that like I have a sort of support in Towson University and making those resources be known, the fact that we have them would be. It would be very beneficial, not only to Towson University, but to the students that go here.
Are there any other questions for them? All right, seeing none, I just ask you both briefly step out while we discuss on both of your behalves. Thank you. Dr. Traore. Got it. Anyone like to speak on their behalf? Senator Jackson.
Coming as a trans student to join Judge under the SGA, I feel like that's kind of ambitious. So I don't really know the guy personally, but he seems like he has his head on his shoulders. So why not? You know?
All right, raise your right hand, repeat after me. All right. I do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully serve the students of Taos University, execute all of the duties and responsibilities of this position, and strive to achieve the high level of expectation that accompanies a position within the Student Government Association of Taos University. I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and all other governing documents of the Student Government Association of Taos University to the best of my ability. Congratulations, John.
Are there any motions on the floor? Government Operations Chair Crosby.
Motion to inquire on Senate Bill 9.
All right, is there a second? Senator Jackson, thank you. With that, we can now move to a vote on moving to the inquiry phase for Senate Bill number 9. All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstaining? And with that, the motion is passed. We can now move to the inquiry phase of Senate Bill number 9. Appropriations Chair White, seeing that this is your piece of legislation, is there anything you would like to say about it?
Can I stay here or do I have to?
It would probably be better if you stood up in the middle. Yes. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, you two handle.
Representative Lewis. Right.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, all.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
So this bill right here, one of the legislations that I tried to source my initiative on was trying to find better ways to help out student workers. Being in budget allocation hearings twice, I really wanted to focus on certain things that they couldn't do that I thought that should be natural for an organization to be able to do. So definitely targeting on decorations and making sure that we are staying clean and making sure that we're not going after like balloons or anything and hurting the environment. So that's why I didn't go after non-reusable decorations, but just highlighted decorations and as a sort. For example, tablecloths. So an organization now would be able to request a budget under their budget for a tablecloth that can be reusable for their tablings. The second thing I added down there at the bottom was the striking out of non-consumable goods. So basically mugs and cups and stickers and pins for the org that can now budget for that, which is why it's being struck. That makes sense. Any questions?
Senator Luke.
Okay, so my question for like Appropriation Chair White is that has like any like student like leaders reach out to you to say that they want these changes, or you just get that up for review yourself?
So basically coming into this, reviewing budgets all last year and seeing how many student orgs requested us for tablecloths for their organization or different things like that. I was sitting there and I was like, wow, they can't request tablecloths. And that's why I did that. So basically a yes and a no, but.
Any other questions? Representative Robinson.
I'm not sure what the rules are, but can I speak on Stephen's behalf to his question or no?
If he yields to you.
So yeah, as a senator, going through like the budget hearings, a lot of like little stuff got denied because we can't have decorations, anything that's labeled as decoration. So I mean, it kind of makes sense because the tablecloth could be potentially 50 cents. You tell me I can't get 50 cents for a tablecloth, like things like that, so.
Representative Linsky,
Point of personal privilege.
granted. Senator Vivian Wilson,
Is that not like the point of the non-reusable items thing, like for the environment, like, well, we could purchase, we should specify being able to purchase decorations.
the point of order, I just asked you just strictly leave it to a question.
A question, okay, like, could that be included? Can I ask that? Like,
Yeah, you can ask a question, just leave it as.
I guess I'm not fully understanding where the.
basically, like,
Please explain.
it was just, it was just said that tablecloth could be 50, like, I'm saying, could it be specified that what is considered a reusable decoration in this, so that the organizations know what they can and cannot buy? Could that be specified?
I mean, we could definitely specify that, and if you're in GovOps, and I hope you're in GovOps, to definitely come in the GovOps committee, we can definitely do that, but yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Government Operations Chair Crosby.
I yield the floor to the chair. I think it's something to answer.
I mean, we can definitely specify in this, but that's something that will be explained to them throughout the budgeting process. When they have a lot of extensive meetings about what you can and can't get. So we wouldn't necessarily need to put in our documents what exactly we classify. I mean, we could, but that's something that we kind of thoroughly explain what you can and can't have.
I will also add that a 50-cent tablecloth definitely can be reused many times. I've done it a few times. Churches have done that a few times, so. I just want to add that.
Granted. Any other questions regarding Senate Bill number 9? All right, seeing none, thank you, Appropriations Chair White, for answering our 8 questions about Senate Bill number 9. Are there any motions on the floor? Government Operations Chair Crosby.
Motion to inquire on Senate Bill number 10.
All right, is there a second? Senator Jackson, thank you. And with that, we can now move into a vote on moving into the inquiry phase for Senate Bill number 10. All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstaining? With that, the motion is passed. We can now move to the inquiry phase for Senate Bill number 10. Appropriations Chair White is saying that this is another piece of legislation by you. Is there anything you would like to say about it? Just to introduce it to the floor.
So a few things. This bill is definitely one that I've talked with a few senators and a few directors about over the last 2 weeks or 2. So definitely me and Government Operations Chair Crosby have spoken on this, and a few other senators have spoken on this, and there's a few things that we would like to work out in committee on this bill, especially in the second section right there, and we will definitely do that. And let's also discussion on a secondary section in there as well that I would be happy for the committee to input on. But yeah, it's just basically extending office hours from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And creating a hybrid option that we're also that cannot be done between 9 to 5. So 9 to 5, you have to be in the office, but those hybrid options are optional and open for you from 6 to 8:30 and 9, and from 5 to 9 afterwards as well. And we will definitely discussing the hours that can be completed during hybrid. I know many of you have added to this or added to the discussion of it. So yeah, I look forward to committee.
Are there any questions? Senator Jackson.
For the hybrid hours, how will you be able to confirm if senators are actually working during those hours?
So I actually added in there that they are required to send photo proof. And it should be in that clause exactly as photo proof to the Attorney General. To confirm whether or not, and it will be up to the discretion of the Attorney General to confirm if this counts as office hours being done properly on a hybrid hour level or not. Does that kind of answer your question? And I look forward to any of your suggestions if you have to add on to that as well.
President Colbert. Yeah, are you aware of any other, like student employees on campus that work from home?
Nope. However, I am aware of a few other companies that have created a branch hybrid hours, working hours as well. So.
Assistant Director Campbell.
Can I make a comment?
No, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Next week. Senator Lou.
Come to committee too, if you, as well.
Oh, if you want to answer the question, Mr. Webb would have to yield to you.
Last school year, I was working on a grant with the College of Education. And my job was primarily work from home. I just couldn't exceed a certain amount of hours and I had to submit that work in a folder every single week. So that was, you're welcome.
Senator Lou.
I was just wondering, would this like mess up like the pay for people that are paid and then knowing they had like having a punch card, they get their like punch card like early or late?
Shouldn't mess that up, especially since we're amending our laws and our documents. So it really shouldn't necessarily mess up the punch cards. Especially when you're logging our timesheets. Our timesheets are required a certain amount of hours. As was discussed by Vice Chair today. So. Okay.
President Colquitt.
If you allow me to answer a little bit to that, Senator White. Yeah, just to add, in a way it could, Advisor Harris is our supervisor. She's our liaison to HR. She does the onboarding paperwork for us. And she's responsible for everything that we do during our office hours. And there will be no way for her to approve those hours if you're working from home and not under her supervision.
Director Dixon. Granted. That's President Bell.
Okay, so besides, Session Director Campbell's, example of hybrid or virtual hours, what makes us so special with trying to put our office hours on hybrid when everybody else on campus does it in person?
So to the answer to your question, nothing kind of makes us special. I guess the fact that most of our work that we do is office available work. The fact that most of us work on laptops and most of us have submit our reports on laptops, and most of us do majority of our work on laptops. It basically, in other words, just gives you an option to be able to, not meet, but it gives you an option to be able to get some done some of your paperwork when you wake up early in the morning. If you are a group of people that wake up at 6 a.m. or a group of people that wake up at 3 a.m., go to the gym and eat breakfast, you have all this time in the morning. It gives you that option to get work done in the morning. Or if you're a night out and you sleep in or you have so much class, but you know that you work well at night, it gives you that option to work at night and get your paperwork done at night as well. So that's really what that was. If I was just trying something new.
Okay, so another question I have on the floor. I just wanted that because it's triple threat. I know. So you get all your hours in every week?
I do.
And how many hours do you log in usually per week?
Anywhere between 11 to 14 weekly. So
okay, and would you call yourself a busy man?
I do. I know however, I will say, and I said this in email as well, for work, I have a staff too, because I'm deputy director of music for a church. So I have people to manage my calendar. I have people to help me manage my time management skills. So thinking of me, and if I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't necessarily have that leg up to manage my time as well. So giving that option and giving that extra time for people to manage their time that are busy and as part of this organization is kind of what I was trying to do as well.
Okay, so on that note, besides you having two schedulers, being a busy man, getting over your usual office hours per week, and still keeping track of everything, what makes it, I guess, the reason, if you can do it, what's not from everybody else to do that?
Well, to also add, a lot of people are not beings. So I have my schedule and my mind's my ability and how I do. I could run on 5 hours of sleep. Not everyone can run on 5 hours of sleep. Like I get 5 hours of sleep. I mean, so that's partly me. So I can be able to get my stuff done and get my stuff finished because
Director Johnstone.
yep, I do.
I'd also kind of like to point out to Vice President Bell that this hybrid hours aren't terribly uncommon. I know through my work in the past, the Office of Civic Engagement, they allow their workers to go through hybrid. Chris Lawson was on hybrid today. Yesterday, one of the other office workers was on hybrid. Patty Watson is sometimes on hybrid. There are days when we've had to talk over the phone, except in person, which, kind of sucks, but it still works. And they still get their work done. They're a very productive office. So I'd just like to make that clear as well.
I will add also that some DoD workers, and my grandmother being one, when she was working, and her office still does that, where she had teleworking. And she had a day just working on teleworking, so, and that was before COVID, so hybrid has kind of been a thing for a while. I yield to Senator Jackson, if he has something to say. I do believe I can.
Speaking of office, hybrid hours, we're all busy people. I feel like it'd be cool, to stay at home, same way we do homework at home, but it was more of a question. Hypothetically, say that someone who works more than like 10 hours, like they have hybrid hours on Thursday, but say that hypothetically, Attorney General Jallo cannot approve those hours for that Thursday, but everything's due on Friday. And they can't work Friday because they're busier, whatever, we'll just say in that situation. So yeah, office hours, hybrid hours are not confirmed on Thursday, but we must turn our hours on Friday. So what would you say to
Your report is due on Friday.
Yeah, but like, if you can't get your office hours approved for hybrid on Thursday, but they're due on Friday, what would you say to that situation? You know what I'm trying to say? If I'm not asking the question.
I can yield.
If I'm hearing the question correctly, assuming that I do my hybrid hours on Friday and then, on Thursday, and then Friday comes and they don't get approved, would that just not be hours?
So it should be in your report too. So what you're doing and what you're getting done should be in your report. And that photocopy of I did this in office hours. Here's the photocopy of it in my report. Then, yeah, that's basically the foundation of what that was going. So does that answer your question?
What if it doesn't get approved?
Yeah, it's basically
In
saying,
your hours,
assuming that they will get approved, but in the event that somebody says, I email somebody for an hour and now it's not approved, does that mean I don't get, or if I'm a paid member, but I get paid?
that would count as hybrid hours. It's left to the general, so don't think that, hey, the work that you did, or hey, for example, an hour for that hour email. If you're spending an hour taking an email, then it's up to the discretion. And I kept it that way to make sure that no one was trying to, or no one would abuse, I'm saying anyone would, but would abuse the system by that, so. Does that kind of answer your question? Yes. Mr. Chairman.
This is good. Director Farmer.
So this is kind of about the verification of those hours. So I'll give like an example, like I know one of my meetings kind of ran like almost to an hour over. So like, how would that be verified under, well, like, would that be considered my office hour, my hybrid hour? Because it technically was after office hours. And I do like the bill because that can help with meetings that do run over, but anybody could say they did this during the hybrid hour. So how would there be a legitimate verification of that?
So my stance is, as long as you're able to prove it in some way, shape, or form, for example, if you have a meeting, so naturally there's other people there to sit there and say, hey, we were on this meeting after hours. But that was also a biggest thing, same thing on why I made that bill was because of meetings running after hours long. So this way you have the ability to count that and log that as a hybrid hour or hybrid time. Yeah, that's how that answers your question.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Director Sonny.
Okay, so my question is kind of like hers. Another one is like, for example, I do have a meeting that I go to Mondays at 8:30 a.m. I noticed you said in your bill it will be photocopied. Like how would you be able to prove that was a hybrid hour? Like, am I supposed to take a picture at the meeting and send that in?
You say 8:30 a.m. or 8:30 p.m.?
8:30 a.m.
And so, yeah, we would happily do that. And yeah. This is an office meeting on the same part. Yeah, you have to do that, or you can even just say, hey, other people were there, but I was at this meeting and started at 8:30 a.m. But that's another reason why I did this too, to make sure that people that get up before and are working before 9 a.m. have the ability to log the work that they were doing as well. So.
All right, for the sake of time, we'll take one more question. If there is any.
President Colbert had a question.
He put his hand down. Seeing none, thank you, Appropriations Chair White. Answered all questions, right? Are there any announcements? Vice President Bell.
All right, y'all, glad to see everybody at this new GA. Congratulations again to the new senators. Just a reminder that this Thursday we'll be having a parliamentary procedure training in the SJA office for senators. So I hope to see you all there on Thursday. We love to use Robert's rules and parliamentary procedure. That's how we govern us, so we're going to meet us. So thank you very much indeed. Have a blessed night.
Any other announcements? Saying just one quick one from me. Rules Committee tomorrow at 3:30. Since we have 2 Senate bills on the floor today, we're gonna go over them and then we'll jump into the constitutional review. Appropriations Chair White.
I'm gonna make a recommendation for you, yield, if I could, or a motion if I could too. And this will save you time tomorrow. Instead of having Senate Bill 9 be reviewed in Rules Committee, can it be reviewed in approach? And that is the review of the financial policy. And actually, I'm going to move to make that motion if I could.
Just
standing.
Before you make the motion, real quick, I would just say it has to go through rules regardless, just because that's how it is in our government documents. So it has to go through rules. If you want to review it and approach, by all means, go ahead, but it has to go through rules. So.
I understand that.
Any other announcements? Seeing none, is there any motion on the floor? Government Registrar Crosby. Motion to adjourn, is there a second? Thank you, Senator Drew. And with that, we're gonna move to vote adjournment. All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstaining? With that, the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.